On a day-to-day basis, I get in contact and I strengthen their relationships between Deiser and those solution partners that do provide our apps to their clients.
What is the ideal booth positioning at a team conference?
Like right next to the door, to the entrance, that would be the best one.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Summer of Atlassian. Today I have Fede, a good friend of mine from Deiser. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me, Alex. How's it going?
Oh, you are one of my favorite people in the whole wide world. So anytime I can have you on this, it's a good day for me.
I'm honored about that. Thank you very much. And I'm really glad to be here. Always, to talk to you. And I think that every time that we have a chat is nice. It's good. And you're also one of my faves. So that's cool. That's cool. It's nice.
Yeah, it's so interesting. Like with my brother-in-law, right? Like you are part of our conversations. He was just at my house this weekend, and we were going through my closet. I was showing him like my shirts, the swag that I got from Team, and he's like, "Oh, did Fede give that one to you too?" I was like, "Yeah, he did." And here's a backpack, and I was showing him everything. so
That's really cool. That's really cool. And all,
so
all because of this
all
poster.
because
This
of that,
this
yeah, that
all
and a
because of
24-hour live stream that I didn't want to do.
yeah, exactly. That was a good one. Yes, I remember about that.
So let's I wanted to start off with just talking about Team 24.
Yeah.
You were in there with us. You helped us out with the Jura Life. We got to do a podcast there from your booth,
Hmm.
but I don't get to see a whole lot of what happens from a vendor's perspective, right? So why don't you share some details? Like what does a team conference look like for you, given that you are there as a vendor?
As a vendor, it's really interesting. This was my fifth Atlassian Team Summit, and it's always really interesting. The first ones always are a little bit strange because the first one was when I just started at Deiser and I was getting the hangout of Atlassian. I knew about Jira, but I didn't know all the products. I didn't know what Atlassian had in store for the next years. So it was really strange. Organization wise, it's always an event. It's a big thing. For us at least, we take good care of our organization. What we want to bring there, what information we want to bring there, if we want to provide demos about our apps, and that time during the year is super exciting because we get together and we plan out a lot of like I said, demos a lot of who do we want to reach to, who do we want to talk to, and what information do we need in order to continue growing our apps, and continue evolving everything in every single way. So it's for us and for me, it's really insightful. I get a lot of uh, excitement and insights of what we need about it, and as soon as we're ready and we go to the event, everything changes. Whatever you have planned,
Whatever the
everything.
whole time goes out the
Yeah,
door.
yeah, those 2 minutes I just talked about, about getting ready, planning out, everything goes to wherever you want them to go. It's not so much like that, but it's a lot like you have so many
You
people to
react.
talk to.
You're
Yeah,
reacting
exactly.
to the elements.
Exactly, to react, to be proactive in order to know that you have something else going on. As in, okay, so I have a meeting with a solution partner, so I need to keep it short because I have a meeting with a creator in order to record something, and it's you have to stick to the plan,
Yeah.
and it's crazy. For me, it's super cool. I like it. I like that Rambo. I like that to the chaos in the plan, because I like trying to help. I like helping everyone, helping my team, helping people that are there. That is the first time that they go to an Atlassian team, and they're like, "Oh, so where do I need to go? who do I need to talk to, and I always try to support, and to talk to them, and it's super nice. It's super nice.
Yeah.
It's
No,
super.
there. I used to work for a team in the defense industry here in the United States, and my chief engineer, she told us like the most. I use this a lot, right? It's like you don't
Mhm.
go to war without a plan. Like you always
Exactly.
have to have a plan, even if the plan changes the moment you land on the battlefield. It would be foolish to show up to the battle
Mhm.
without at least an idea of what you want to do. Given that
Exactly.
it's all going to change, but you still don't want to show up and go, huh, what should we do?
Yeah, exactly. What do we do now? No, no. You never go without a plan anywhere. Anywhere is like this, like war. Yeah, you're absolutely right. And the thing is that plan, we spent months evolving that plan. Creating the plan. And it's really cool. It's one of the times of the year where we get super excited, and it's I don't know I don't know what more to say, because it's so cool, and then seeing people when you get there, seeing people that you have contact with throughout the whole year, and then you get to meet them in person. It's even more, how you say, exciting. It brings you a lot of happiness, in order to see them, to have a chat with them, to have a coffee, a beer, and see what they actually think about what is going on in the ecosystem. I believe that, not only this ecosystem, I believe that other ecosystems do the same. It happens the same, because I believe that that everything is kind of related. But it's super nice, and you don't go without a plan. Our
Yeah.
plan is super specific, and every time we evolve the plan, and we and I every year is better. Every year we plan out better, and we are better organized, and every year is gonna get better. So it's nice.
So a couple more things that I want to talk about within that
Mm.
context. But
Yeah.
first, some acknowledgments. One, you guys had front and center. That booth was right there at the entrance.
Yeah, it was.
How did that work out for you? Because you and I had a comment, but
Yeah.
you weren't too
Yeah.
sure. Like, how did it end up working versus other
It,
years?
I had this chat with so many different people, and what I think about the booth is like, I have mixed feelings, because it was right there. As soon as people entered the expo room, they could go to the right, and they saw us. The thing is that we were facing the other way. That's okay. But we had uh, other big partners around us that could bring those people. The how you say, the walking flow. People were walking around the booth, but at the same time, I feel like the expo hall was super big, that it was like a park,
They
where
made it
kids.
bigger this year, right? It felt
Yeah,
bigger.
right. Yeah, it was big. I think it was the same place, but I think
I,
that they were using one less wall at somewhere around the expo hall,
it had
so
to
they
be
could
because
expand.
it felt bigger because I think last year they did all the keynotes in the expo hall too,
Yeah, right.
right?
Yeah,
So we would through to get to the expo. I mean, to get to the keynotes, you would have to get funneled through the expo, which I think
mhm.
last year worked out real well for you guys too, because you guys were kind of like on that path of
Exactly.
having to get to the expo.
We were really happy last year, and we had a lot of traffic, and people were really interested in what we had to tell them, And this year they were really interested too, but we didn't have that traffic, the traffic that we were expecting. And one big thing is that we chose that booth because we thought that there was gonna be a connection between the keynote theater, and the
Mm.
expo hall through that wall. But at some point, there
Yeah,
wasn't a
it's always interesting
connection.
that they changed that. Yeah,
Yeah, at
because I
some
didn't
point,
like that we had to leave. I thought
yeah,
it was a very big inconvenience to have to leave the expo to go
yeah,
all the way over there and then
exactly. It took some time. It took some time, and having the expo hall right there after, it was a big point for us. But it didn't happen. I don't remember right now if there was I don't know, a misunderstanding, or they changed it. I don't remember right now. But we thought that it was some kind of way, and it wasn't. But
yeah.
anyways, it's it,
But that's
it
interesting though.
was
But
good.
did you get a certain? I'm assuming you get to pick the size of the booth, but do you also
Yes.
get to kind of get to influence where you have your booth?
Yeah, I believe there's you need to pick the booth, and then there's how you say, not a raffle but a selection of who's so for example, you choose three booths, the three booths that you like, and then Atlassian throughout all the sponsor on of all the sponsors in the same tier, they will choose who's gonna go there. Not choose, but it's gonna be a raffle. Okay, so there's a lottery, and in the lottery they say, okay, so this vendor goes here, this sponsor goes here, and that's it. We chose that one because that was our first pick, and we got that first pick, thinking that it was going to be different, but it was like that, and
So
it
I
was nice.
wonder then, what is the ideal booth positioning at a team conference?
Oof, like right next to the door, to the entrance, that would be the best one.
But their
you know
entrance was so big this year, right? Like,
yeah, this
'cause-
year this
and the community had it this year. That was the main entrance, right?
Yeah, exactly. But the community also, it was the main entrance. But as you said, it was kind of weird, because it was a hall, that you had to walk.
Yeah,
There
it was like
was
a
a
whole
corner,
stage. Yeah,
and the community was right here. So
it was
people,
stuck.
yeah, exactly, like tucked in there, and it was like I didn't see it the first time. The community booth, I didn't see it the first time, but the first thing that I saw was the big A. The Atlassian A. As soon as you turn around that corner, you could see the A, and you were like, okay, that's where Atlassian is gonna be. And right next to it, it was Upfire, like to the left, and you could see it. Upfire chooses darker colors, so it was a contrast.
Contrasted, yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm wondering
exactly.
too how much then you're. So now I'm just thinking, right? Because maybe there isn't an ideal booth selection, but
Mm.
I would say close to restrooms.
Yeah,
There's the restrooms in there, right?
that's a
But then
really good one.
colors and logo, I think, because you're walking so quickly, I
Mm.
think having something that catches people's eyes, just like a bright color or
Yeah,
a contrasted color, I think
exactly.
might play some games. So it'd be interesting to see if anybody is actually doing some research on what is the ideal booth selection.
Yeah, well, our marketing team has so many ideas because every year, we we choose uh, a booth depending, not depending, but on the research that the marketing team does.
Right.
And there's a lot of psychology to it also. They always say that whenever people attendees to an expo hall enter the expo hall, they always tend to walk to the right, to lean on the right and look at the
But that's
staff
where
that
you
are.
guys were.
Yeah, exactly, but it didn't work. Yeah, and I
It
was like,
worked.
so yeah, but I don't know. It was crazy, but it was tricky. Our place was tricky. It wasn't that because we were facing the other way. So we had a blue wall that I took advantage of for the videos that I took. The interviews that I did. I took advantage of that big blue wall, and it was good for me, but not for the rest of the team because we were facing that way.
Yeah.
We
I
had
kind of
some.
wonder I wonder if you have. I don't know if you've ever seen the Christmas decoration of that neighbor. There's a neighbor that has a house all extravagant with all the lights everywhere, and then the next door neighbor that didn't spend all that money, they have a Grinch with just like stealing the lights.
That's super cool.
I
That's
wonder
really
if
good.
you could have just put like a little
Mhm.
sign on that blue wall. It's like look
Yeah,
behind.
you look right behind it. Yeah, exactly. We thought about it. We thought about it, but also, there's rules that you have to comply with.
I've heard those
Yeah,
rules.
exactly, exactly. So,
Maybe like a little one of those like yellow caution signs for in
yeah,
the floor there,
exactly,
but
right
put like
here. Yeah,
like over
exactly,
here.
exactly. We're gathering all the ideas that we can in case that next year we have the same problem, but I don't think so.
Why do you guys pick such a big booth? Is there value in having such a big booth? Is it because you take so many people with you?
Yeah, but we usually tend to bring 10 people, 10 or so. And we believe that the more people that we're there, the more leads we can get, the more people we can talk to, the more conversation we can have, and the team is always divided in different groups. the business part of the company, the product part of the company, which is the main one. So the product part of the company is the people that we know about our products, and we can provide demos. We can chat with the attendees, and we can do different other product side things, and then usually there's one of the marketing team people, which they provide us with some insights of what we need to the picture that we need to take, and so on, because it's all about, and the one that said that it's not like this, I think that they're lying, but it's all about visibility. It's all about, showing yourself and being there,
Right.
and yeah, and that's what we want to do, is that we want to be there. It's not only because it's super great to see everyone and to talk to everyone, vendors, partners, and so on, and Atlassian themselves, but also so everyone knows that we go places, that we go there, and we're there. If they need anything, we'll be right there at that
Right.
time, so it's nice. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's definitely a great moment. How many people stop by that are like already customers versus new customers?
Well, there's a big
'Cause I'm
percentage.
assuming you gotta have fans that come and you're like, we love your
Yeah,
app. We love
yeah,
fans.
exactly. There's a bunch of them. There's recurrent, attendees. Every year that they come, and they say, okay, so the update was good. The update, okay, so I don't understand the update, so we update them, on what they can do with the apps, or maybe show them our latest apps. But usually there's more new customers. But I believe that in the percentage this year, since I haven't been that much in the booth, because since I started with a new role of partner manager a year ago,
Which we're gonna talk about in a minute. So go
okay,
ahead.
okay, nice. I will hold it. The thing is that, yeah,
If you had a guess,
what,
like just a number, like from when it
yeah,
comes
a number, I don't know, percentage. I believe that recurrent clients will be around 30%, and new
to
clients,
70%.
but yeah,
So you're really incentivized and it's such a big number for new business, right? Like you
yeah,
guys are there to try to get leads then.
yeah, wait, because the thing is that we want to get leads, but new business is not the rest of that, because new business will be another 30%, and then the rest are all other partners, that don't know you, and they treat us and we treat them as their clients, since we don't know them, new partners, solution partners, because we need to make business with them. We need them to know us in order for them to present our solutions to their clients, and the rest are solution partners. So it's a three-part side, it's a three thing, is I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly,
Yeah,
but
no, you're saying
yeah,
you're like, hey, we have recurring customers that are just there to like say thank you,
yeah,
awesome. Maybe they have questions about the product, maybe
exactly.
they something's not clear to them, or maybe they just want to talk about the product, right? Then you're
Exactly,
saying there's new business, there's like
exactly.
new people that they're like, oh, what do you guys do? How
hmm
can I use your app in my business and maybe streamline like a roadmap or whatever, right? Like just how do I use the
exactly,
many Deiser apps that are available in my Jira instance. And then you're
exactly.
saying there's a third pillar, which is like, and this is new to me because I'm
Mm.
barely now becoming aware of this, right?
Yeah,
But there's like a group of people because when you look at the expo floor, it's not just app vendors.
exactly.
There's some other element called the solution partner
That's
that
it.
sometimes also have booths as well, right? But
Exactly.
not all the
There's
time.
not all the time, but there's a big part of the Atlassian team, that it's sponsored by solution partners. For example, well, Deiser is also
Like
solution partner, but
Atlassian, right?
but we go as product, okay,
Right,
and as on our product side, as Deiser apps, But there's Valiantis. Valiantis is a solution partner.
right,
ISO's technology too.
right. Yeah.
They're yeah,
But
exactly. So
there's like hundreds of those, right? But again,
yeah,
not as many on the booth because when I walk around, I mainly see I would say like almost 7 to 1, or
yes,
if
yes.
there was 10, I would say 70% are like vendors of apps, and
Yeah.
then like 30% are like solutions where they help you with your Jira problems.
Exactly. But what do you expect when you go to an expo hall, Alex?
Well, I go for the
You
socks. So
yeah, for the socks. That's good. That's good. That's also good because you're gonna find really good ones. Yeah.
yeah, so
But
I go straight for the socks.
yeah, exactly. But what are you planning to see? New products,
So that's
or
interesting, right? It's an interesting question because I always go to the conferences with a different mindset, right? Because one, I'm going as an Atlassian creator, at least this year, right?
uh
So I would say I had zero conversations with any of the booth vendors other than like, I want your socks. So tell me, because my as I approached everybody, I was like, what do I need to do to get your socks or your shirt, right? So that was my conversation that I had with people. But I'm assuming, right, like had I gone last year as a customer of Atlassian, right,
Mhm.
not as a insider, if you will,
Yeah. Hmm.
the question that I would have is like I would go for those two reasons, right? Which is like, hey, I have a problem in Jira, and your app looks like it might solve it for me, and I would like to explain my problem to you, and maybe you can show me a demo,
Hmm.
uh, showing me that you can solve my problem. So that would be
Hmm.
one, right?
Exactly.
Because it's very hard to do that or get that feedback by installing the app and then trying it out yourself, because you need to know how the app works a little bit to then
Mm-hmm.
see if it can solve your problem, versus if I describe my problem to your product person who knows the product intimately, they can like quickly translate my English into your app and go, hey, here, look, this is how it works. And
Yeah.
so now you got a lead, right? Now you got your lead.
Yeah. Exactly. That's it.
But then I would also go in, but that's because I'm very proactive, right? I'm the admin, and I want to own how I architect my Jira.
Hmm.
Versus there's people that are like, they're like, I just have Jira problems, and I would go to a solution partner and go, take my money.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. That's it.
So yeah,
Yes.
but
The thing is
I
that
would probably go on the first boat, which is like, I want
yeah.
to go see what apps are out there that I can enable.
Exactly, exactly. So, and that's how we look at it too. Most of the times, we go as they set apps. We present our apps, our solutions, and that's it. And we try to solve the problems that attendees come to us with. Like you did the first year. I believe that you talked to my colleague Laura, right? And
I was working with Laura. We were so my first introduction with to Deiser was you guys were working on some financing capabilities within the tool, like budgeting type of thing.
yeah, exactly, budgeting.
And,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
Laura was like, hey, we just like some feedback on some stuff that we're working on. And so I
Hmm.
had like an hour-long conversation with her. And my
Hmm.
first interaction with her, I'll never forget it. Um, I don't even know how it happened, but she's like, ¿hablas español?
Yeah,
And I was
because
like, yeah. She's like, do you want to do this in Spanish? I was like, no.
I know, I know. That's okay. Yeah, yeah. Because well, we always ask, because since whenever we see a Spanish name, we always ask a little bit, if it's English, it's English. We're ready for that too. So,
Yeah, no,
so
it's
that.
interesting because like I was just in a meeting this week, on Monday, I think, and the team's all in Mexico.
Mhm.
I'm Mexican, right? And
Yeah,
the guys, they're asking me like, hey, Alex, do you mind if we do it in Spanish? Because it's easier on them to do it in Spanish, right?
yeah,
I can feel that they struggle with converting their Spanish to the English.
yeah.
So it's harder. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. But I'm like, but I always tell them like, but look, my Spanish is okay. I'm gonna stumble. Now you're gonna see like the roles reversed, right? Like I'm gonna be stumbling because I'm got the English and I'm translating to Spanish. And the guy's like, but you're Hispanic. I'm like, yes. And they're like, well, don't you practice Spanish every day? And I go, well, yeah. I mean, I speak to my parents, I speak to my in-laws, right?
Hmm.
And my grandma was only Spanish speaking only, right? So
Uh-huh.
and within my household, we speak a lot of Spanish.
Uh-huh.
But then I tell them, problem is, I'm not talking Jira to my dad.
Yeah, exactly.
So
That's it.
so it adds a different element because like I can't describe. I wouldn't know what to call a backlog in Spanish or
Exactly, exactly.
right
It's
or a board.
and now that I think of it, I don't remember how we call it in Spanish because we say backlog. We work in English. We try to work in English. If we have a question, we talk in Spanish. And we say, well, what should we do with this, or what do you prefer with that, or well, what should we attack this problem as? But we talk in Spanish. But when we talk about Jira, we speak in English, and it's like
Yeah,
backlogs, issues. We don't call I don't know. Well, tickets is I think is a universal name for a ticket, but the issues we don't call them problemas, because
yeah,
issues are
it,
problemas,
right,
and
right, yeah.
yeah, exactly, and we call them issues,
And
and
there's Spanglish, right? So,
yeah,
but it's an interesting Spanglish. So my brother-in-law, the one that you
yeah,
that loves you, right? His wife, which is my sister-in-law, which is my
uh,
wife's real sister,
uh-huh,
right? Um, I was listening to her talk on the phone this Saturday,
yeah.
and her Spanglish is like this because like I can do that thing where you said we're like, hey, well, I'll ask you a question in Spanish, but my whole question is in Spanish.
Yeah.
Maybe the response is in English, maybe a word or two in the responses in English, but for
Mhm.
the most part, I'll stick to one language or the other. But my
Yeah.
sister-in-law, she was like, every other word was either one in Spanish, one in English, two in Spanish, two in English. It's like, I was like, which one are you talking?
It's crazy. It's crazy. And it's you're reminding me right now because I'm originally from Argentina and I'm living in Spain right now, and it happens this yeah, and it happens the same. We don't have to go as far as English and Spanish, just accents, and stuff. Last night, for example, last night I got together with a lot of Argentinian people, but a lot of Spanish people too. We did a barbecue last night, and it
Okay,
was
put it up
like,
right now.
yeah, 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 exactly. It was nice.
I'm
It
working on
was
my passport. If I get a passport, I'll probably go to Spain and the UK.
yeah, and you have to pass by Madrid, man, and that's it. And the thing is that when we're together, you could see that people that were living in Spain, like me, for a long time already, we could speak, Argentinian with the Argentinians and a little bit more Spanish,
For the Spain, yeah.
Spain Spanish, and it's crazy, and that mix, at some point, my girlfriend, she was like, dude, it's like you're going nuts right now. I don't understand. And he's like, yeah, it happens. But it's cool. It's nice. It happens a lot. You know.
Now reeling that in back into the Atlassian ecosystem, you don't see
Yep.
a whole lot of Spanish-based companies within the Atlassian ecosystem. Any
Well,
thoughts on why? Or
well,
maybe you have different observations?
I think I have different observation. I think that there's a lot of Spanish companies, that maybe they haven't grown enough yet because one of the first solution partner in Spain was Deiser, and the first platinum partner was Deiser. But then many others came along, like Tecnofor, like AT Sistemas, that now is Nomad Mood. Sorry, Nomad Mood. And there's a big ecosystem
You
here in
named three,
Spain.
and you named the three that I know.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
But that's
there's
kind of the point that
Illogic.
I'm making,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But there's Illogic too. There's new ones
Is
in
it what's
other
coming up?
regions. Yeah, exactly. There's Illogic. There's Waiku. There's many others, that are growing right now, and there's even more that I don't remember right now because my memory gets up.
So,
Is
so the
up
reason
to
I
me.
ask, right, is
Yeah,
because so you have a podcast, right?
yeah, hmm,
And I was on your podcast recently, but it was all in English. And
yeah.
truth be told, I don't watch every episode, right? Because I don't even watch my own stuff.
That's okay. That's
But
normal.
I'm assuming your podcast is not in Spanish,
No, no, it's
right?
not Spanish. Yeah, exactly.
But so the question is like, why do you feel that there's not more Spanish-based content in the Alaskan ecosystem if it's growing? Wouldn't the indicator that we're growing in the Spanish community
Yeah,
mean that we should have a growing Spanish customer base of tutorials and trainings and
yeah,
things of that nature, especially if you're growing?
yeah, exactly. The thing is that this ecosystem and the tech world is based in English. The universal language is gonna be English. It's English, and we decided to create this podcast in English because it's the universal language in this world, in this ecosystem, and our apps are global too. We want to share the knowledge about our apps and about the Atlassian marketplace, globally, and the global language is English. The thing is that on the solution partner side, if we want to work with Spanish companies, we will try to create something in Spanish. There's we have created content in Spanish, but not me. The marketing, the global marketing side of Deiser, and they create a lot of content in Spanish because we also, how you say, we also hold different events in Spain regarding ITSM, regarding different kinds of solutions. And now I believe that there's going to be a new one regarding the system of work, so that's going to be in Spanish, and because we're here, we cannot go to the US, every month in order to do an event or be there at an event. It's pricey, and we decide to stay here in Spain, and to get bigger here in Spain, and then we'll see. But for now, the solution sites is going to be facing the Spanish public, the Spanish ecosystem, okay? And then the apps, as I said before, we're global, and we want everyone to know what they have, what they can do, what solutions can they get from the Atlassian marketplace. The Atlassian marketplace is global, so that's the reason why, so.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, because I've been for the last almost 2 years, I've just been flirting with the idea of making my videos in Spanish. Because even Mr. Beast, right? English is not the most
Yeah,
popular language in the world.
yeah, exactly.
A lot of
I've
people think that it is, but Mr.
yeah.
Beast says that most of his viewers aren't English speakers.
Yeah, exactly. And he does translations. His videos are dubbed
They're
into a lot of different languages, because he's global too, But yeah, it's right. But the thing is that Mr. Beast is entertainment, and the entertainment, if entertainment, that's why you get the movies and the series. They all are dubbed in different languages, because it's entertainment. But this is tech. This is another thing. This is something that started with the universal English language, and everything, as well as we just talked about. Issues are issues, and I believe that I don't know, in India they call them issues. In China they call them issues too.
So it just makes me wonder because I really do, because I'm assuming a company in Mexico
Yeah.
that is using Jira or considering using Jira would play by the rules of engagement of Jira, which is English,
Yeah.
right? But their teams are still very much, because I see this right with that team that I told you I
Yeah.
talked with on Monday.
Yeah.
Their mindset is very much in Spanish. Like they are thinking, they're articulating, they're engineering in Spanish.
Yeah.
They're forced to translate it back into English to interface with the tool.
Yeah, that's a really good point, and I think that the learning way, if they need to learn, they probably will consume
The
that
comprehension would be better in their
exactly
native
in
language.
their native language. That
Yeah.
exactly. Yes, that's it.
I don't know. Maybe it might be time. I'll get you to dub my
Yeah,
videos.
yeah. Whatever you need. Yeah, exactly.
I
And
try to get my mom to translate them for me, but like my mom's English is okay,
uh-huh.
but it's not like my English, right? And my English is full of dad jokes,
Uh-huh.
and dad jokes just don't convert into
Well,
Spanish.
maybe some of them, but not all of them, of course. But
Well,
yeah.
yeah. I guess maybe if I scripted my videos, because I am planning on relaunching my channel. I'm
Hmm.
actively working on a 2.0, but like just a great example. My very first video, I was like, "Agile is Jiro's bread and butter,"
Yeah.
and my mom's like, "What does pan y agua have to do with anything?" Like, I was like,
Makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah.
"Pan,
Yeah.
pan y mantequilla," and I was like, "It's a
It's
saying in English," and she's like,
yeah.
"Well, what kind of a dumb saying is pan and mantequilla?" I'm like, it means like that's what you specialize in. Like that is the foundation of who you are, your bread and butter. And they're
Hmm.
like, yeah, that doesn't. We don't have that.
No, we don't have that. Yeah,
So
but
she couldn't translate those things. So like maybe if I were to like be more cognitive of how I create the videos so that they're more translatable, might
mhm.
might be. I say less dumb English only things. Half the time I speak in metaphor, so maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, but there's always, the job of a translator is to catch those that jokes, those, whatever you
Translate it
will.
into I need a
and
Spanish.
translate it, yeah, and find a way to translate them, and to find a way that the public understands what you're saying, even though if they have to recreate a joke, and that's it. That's a good job of a translator. I was in touch, because my other jobs, I was in touch with a lot of translators, and that's the localization. It's not only translation, because you're localizing the joke. You're
Right.
localizing it to Spain. You're localizing it to maybe, and the same joke doesn't apply to Spain and Italy, and you'll need to localize it to Italy too. You'll need to localize it to France, to France too, and I think that it's really interesting and it's super fun, but yeah,
I would
yeah,
definitely say that's one of my favorite things about the Atlassian ecosystem. My entire career was US based only. I
yeah.
grew up, my very first job in college was at the Boeing company, US
Uh,
defense contractor.
uh-huh.
For
Okay.
from 2010 that I got that very first job until 2020, 10
Oh,
years of my career,
oh.
it was
Mhm,
defense contractors US only, right? Like
mhm,
there was no foreign talking to non-US people.
mhm.
Everything was 100% US soil. Like
Yeah,
we don't give our secrets away to other countries, right? So when I first joined a startup at the beginning of 2020, right when COVID hit, I was like, there's so many different cultures out here. Like
yeah,
there's so many variety. Because like
yeah,
I said, my entire first 10 years of my career were literally just American US based people
yeah. Mhm,
because
mhm,
that's all we can interact with. That's why I don't have a passport, because I used to have a top secret clearance, which made
mhm.
it challenging to even leave the country,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Mhm,
And
mhm.
but now these last 4 years that I've been way more involved in the Atlassian ecosystem, that's like my favorite part of this whole thing, is that I get to travel the whole world.
Yeah, exactly. And,
With
and I think that you should take advantage of it because it's nice. It's nurturing to your brain and your soul, to know different cultures, to learn how they, when they have lunch, when they have dinner. That's amazing, and then I have dinner at 9 at night. Well, what time do you have dinner? "Well, at 7 p.m." They say, and it's like boom, and then you have things to talk about. And why do you do so? Yeah, because, well, a different kind of opinions, different kind of things, of cultures, of ways to do stuff. And I think that is really nurturing, and it expands your mind a lot, and it's really good. I think that, for example, this ecosystem is super diverse, but at levels that I think I haven't reached yet. It's super diverse, and it's also really inclusive because it includes, the Atlassian ecosystem includes, do you need anything from, in your language, we'll try to get it in your language. Do you need, I don't know, the universal language, of English, of tech is English. So I think that everyone in every country right now, they know at least a little bit of English in order to know what the Atlassian ecosystem is doing. And that's, I think, that is really, how you say, it including, it includes, it's really cool, it's really nice.
yeah.
So that's pretty cool, Alice. I'm really glad that you find the ecosystem like that, that you like in that there's a lot of people from around the world,
Yeah, it's
and
just different, right? Because I wasn't used to it, right? And
yeah.
I prefer this because, like you're saying, right? There's the cultures are so drastically different that you yourself learn, right? Like
Hmm.
there's people, like I was born and raised in Southern California, so I grew up with a very big Hispanic culture. Like you need to know Spanish to survive in LA.
Hmm.
Like that's just, there's no question about it, because you can't even, sometimes you can't even get food. At least not good food. At least for the
Yeah.
people that confuse that taco's a sandwich, like
That's
if
the
you
good
go
one.
to a if you go to a true taqueria, you're not confusing that a taco's a
Yeah,
sandwich.
exactly.
And it's
No, of course not.
right?
Of course not.
And so, but yeah, like so the Spanish culture was embedded into me my whole life because again, LA is very influential in Spanish. I went
Hmm.
to Missouri for 3 years of my life.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, like I remember the first time my parents came to visit me, like she brought me my food. My
Yeah.
mom, my parents brought me food because I'm like, it had been like a year since I had eaten like a Mexican candy. It's
No.
been a year since I've eaten like a Mexican bread.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. I
Just
remember. Yeah, yeah. I remember that the same thing happened to me because I spent 2 years in England. Living in England, and I spent like, I don't know. I went to England from Madrid. And my parents, my Argentinian parents, are living in Madrid too. And they sent me Argentinian things, every now and then. And every time that they sent me Argentinian sweets, Argentinian something, it was a party there. I used to, it was really cool, and I get you, I understand that
yeah.
feeling, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So, but yeah, no, it's just so interesting to see how the whole world works out there, right?
Yeah.
Because it's such a
Yes.
diverse place, and it really is like that's again one of my favorite things of the Atlassian ecosystem is that it literally touches almost everyone, right? So you can have opportunities to have friends from all over the world. Like this, that's why this has been my favorite part of this. My wife should says I should have like a map of like where everybody, like all the different meetings that I attend, right? Because I'll be in New Zealand with Revise, or I'll be in Australia with some other people. I'll be in
Exactly.
Spain today, and
Yeah, yeah.
later today I'm going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. So,
And that's
let's
pretty
go,
cool.
right?
That's super cool. That's super cool.
And like Ed
And
Gill, like, I don't know if you know Ed Gill, right? Like Ed Gill's
yes, of
barbecue,
course.
right?
Yes.
So him and
Mhm.
I go head to head with barbecue
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah. I've seen that he likes barbecue.
he
And
loves barbecue, right? He's
yeah, yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
a pit master. He loves barbecue, but there's again this cultural diversity thing that I find so fascinating. For me as a Southern California boy, barbecue means carne asada,
Uh-huh.
hot dogs and burgers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are the three things that for some person from LA, if you say like, "Hey, we're having a barbecue," I'm bringing burgers, hot dogs, and carne asada. Like those
Yeah,
are
exactly, exactly. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
maybe some chicken.
Yeah.
And for Ed, it means brisket. It means tritus, right? It means
Yeah,
something completely different.
completely different, right?
And,
Yeah.
and it's just so I love this. This is my favorite part
It's
because
it,
now I'm exposed to these things, and now I introduce it to my family. I bought his Ed Gell's barbecue sauce,
uh-huh.
and we had a barbecue. I had a thing for my sister in law's birthday, and I
Yeah.
pulled out the barbecue sauces, and my mother in law's like, she's used to Chile. She's like, she's spicy on everything,
Yeah.
and we were eating ribs, and so I'm like, try this barbecue sauce, and she's like, what is it? It's not chile. I'm like, try it. It goes with the meat, and
Yeah,
she's like, what
exactly.
is this deliciousness? I'm like, my buddy made it.
That's pretty good. That's
Right?
pretty
So
nice.
yeah, so this Alaskan thing like is changing not just my work life, but a lot of my personal life as well.
That's nice. That's really cool. And for me, it's the same. And I'm really looking forward for the three of us to get together, and light up a barbecue and throw stuff on it. It doesn't matter anymore.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. So
Yeah,
join
exactly.
the list, and so I don't know if you know this, but I live in Anaheim,
Uh-huh. Yeah,
and
you live in there. Yeah, exactly.
Team 25 is going to be in Anaheim. So ex-
Oh,
expect if I were you, plan a few extra days either before or after. I'm
yeah.
thinking I'm taking like 2 weeks off the month of April just to
Nice.
accommodate all the shenanigans
Nice.
that are going to happen next April in Anaheim.
Nice, nice. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm already making plans, man.
Yeah, make some plans, bring the girlfriend, and
Yeah,
let's go
exactly,
to
exactly.
Disneyland, and we're gonna have some fun.
Super cool. Thank you
We'll
very
have a
much, man.
barbecue. We'll have Ed make a barbecue in my backyard.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool. I'm really looking forward to going to that part of the world because I haven't been in LA yet. I've been through LA at the airport. Lax. I don't know how many times I passed through LAX. And
That's a good
uh,
hub. It's a good
yeah,
middle point. Yeah.
it's a big hub. But since I was really young, I've always when I was living in Argentina, you know looking at the Californian culture, the music and stuff like that. Long Beach, which I believe is not that far away from Anaheim, right?
I No, Long Beach is 25 miles.
Yeah, exactly.
About
So,
25, 30 minutes. I went to Cal State Long Beach.
oh,
Oh,
nice, nice.
that's my alma mater. Yeah.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Well, Long Beach is a place which I would really like to check out, to visit because I love music bands, rock bands, like Sublime. Sublime, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this rock band, that's one of my favorite bands. And when they said it's gonna be in Anaheim, and I said like Anaheim, that's close to Long Beach. So I'm going to Long Beach next year. So that's gonna be awesome, man.
Yeah, no,
So
you can actually stay. So it's 25 miles, right? But
yeah.
Anaheim's a very big city,
Uh-huh.
and so
Okay.
you could be closer to Long Beach,
Okay.
like maybe 15 miles from Long Beach, and still be
Okay.
a 10-minute, but
Ye-
10-minute drive into Anaheim. But that is the one thing that is going to be different for a lot of Atlassians next year,
Yeah.
and that is we're losing the luxury of having the hotel be the expo
Exactly.
because
That's it.
the Anaheim Convention Center is just a convention center. It's not a hotel. So you'll
Exactly.
have to rely on the network of hotels in or around the Disneyland Resort.
Uh-huh.
But everything you're walking, you're either walking or driving.
Yeah, exactly. So you'll have to commute at least.
Yeah,
I remember going to the Barcelona summit. The second one in 2018, and we had to commute. Everyone had to take a taxi to walk there to the venue. And stuff like that. So it's gonna be a little bit more like that. There's many differences between Barcelona and Anaheim. I believe Anaheim is way bigger. And the roads are bigger. Barcelona, everyone was staying in the city. You didn't
right.
have to go outside the city, but
Yeah,
but yeah, it's gonna be a little bit different.
Anaheim's an interesting thing. It's much more family friendly, and Disneyland Resort just
Yeah,
it dictates everything, right? And
it
it's
takes
just it's a whole different experience, right? And Southern California is a whole different vibe.
yeah,
I was born and raised in Southern California, so like going to the beach, I take for granted. But from Anaheim, the beach is 25-minute drive as well. So you're
yeah,
talking 30
exactly.
minutes to just go hang out at the beach. And
Mhm.
there's multiple beaches, right? There's not just Long Beach, but there's Seal Beach, Newport Beach, Huntington Beach,
Mhm. Yeah,
Moses
exactly.
Beach.
It's
Like
super.
you got the whole coast.
Yeah, exactly. The whole coast, that's
Laguna
really cool.
Beach.
That's
um,
really nice.
so and each beach is different. Like you would think that they're not, but like each one's got their little quirks that make it unique, even though it's
Yes,
just sand and water. But it's not. It's a little. Each one's got their own little twist to what a beach is.
that's
And
that's pretty cool. And sorry, but it's gonna take is this next team is going to have a little more of exciting things to do than just being in Las Vegas is exciting, but I think that for me this last year was enough. It's like, okay, yeah,
you're like
too
I'm
many
done.
lights, too many slots, too many roulettes, too many noise, too much noise, too many
Inside
things.
and outside, because the
Yeah,
Disneyland Resort, it's not like Vegas. Like
yeah,
there's a lot of people, but it's not Vegas crowded because I go and walk it all the time. Right, we'll go on a Friday night, and there's a
uh-huh,
lot of people, but there's still again, it's I think the hotel maybe because it's that amount of people instead of being in a city, they're in a
yeah,
building.
yeah,
So it
exactly,
feels more
exactly.
crowded. But
Mhm.
yeah, it'll be fun. I'm very excited. My wife and I were hoping to put out a bunch of videos to kind of like where to go eat because it's gonna be different too, right? Like Anaheim is such a again when you look at it compared to Vegas, right? Vegas is very upscale, very adult oriented,
Yes.
fine
Mhm.
style living versus Anaheim is a family friendly, deep rooted in Mexican culture city.
Nice,
And
nice.
so to have like taquerias, like my buddy comes down from St. Louis all the time, and like he's got like an order that I wrote down in Spanish for him, and he just gives it to the
Yeah.
cashier because they're Spanish only taco places, they're Spanish only places, and there's also rough areas of Anaheim where you don't want to be caught in.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, of course.
But we're gonna be doing videos of like and like guides of like, hey, here's how to survive and how to enjoy and thrive Anaheim. But I think it'll present an opportunity for folks to schedule a few more days. I
Yes,
think it would be
exactly.
foolish. It would be foolish to only come to 2 3 days of the conference,
Yes, exactly.
right? I think it's gonna
That's
be
it.
one of the places where you're gonna want to stick through the weekend, like not even leave on
Yes.
Friday. You're gonna want to leave like Sunday night, Monday morning if you can.
I totally agree with that. Yes, and I'm looking forward to doing so it's nice. Yes,
Yeah, so
I totally
definitely
agree.
book your tickets now because those Disneyland reservations, you got to get reservations sooner
Yeah,
rather.
exactly. I will. I
All
will.
right. So I did want to talk a little bit. I know we only have 10 minutes left here. I want to talk a little bit about your role, right? So
Yeah.
partner manager. So what exactly do you do on a day-to-day basis, and what does that
on
look?
a on a day-to-day basis, I get in contact and I strengthen their relationships between Deiser and those solution partners that do provide our apps to their clients. For example, imagine, for example, the ones that I mentioned, Valiantis, provides their solutions. They implement Jira in different kind of companies, and if they believe that our app is the one that will solve their problem, that our solution is the correct one for them, they will contact me and they will say, Fede, I need information, and I will do a follow-up every day. I spend my days doing following ups on, do you need more information, do you need training about our
Yeah,
apps,
that's what I was gonna say. So do you
exactly.
train
Yeah, yeah,
them,
oh no,
train the
yeah,
end
exactly.
user? Where do you focus on the, or do you
Yeah,
like
but
get scheduled
I
to a
train
call?
the consultants. I focus on the consultants, but if they need help with their clients, I can also train their clients. I can also focus on their clients in order for them to understand our app, and so they can use them to its full potential, and that's it. And I do that. It's a lot of emails, it's a lot of following up, numbers, because remember that I spent my first 5 years in Deiser as the solution specialist, not the solution, the support specialist, and that support made me focus on the clients, and also on the solution partners at some point. But I got so good and how you say, strong relationships with the solution partners, that they offered me this role, and I said yes, I would like to be more in contact with the solution partners, and train them, and answer their questions, because they do have questions, about migrations. These last 2 years was a crazy amount of questions about migrations, which it's normal, and we're still having a lot of questions about that, like a main topic, and many other questions, that I love answering, and I love helping people. And if I need to help the solution partners right now, I will focus on them, and I'll do that.
Is
And
it
it's
just you, or do you have a team?
I know it's just me. On the solution side is on the solution partner side is just me, and I also do the videos, for each week. And so I'm not, how do you say, I'm really busy, and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's cool. It's
This is
nice.
what we're doing at 8 p.m.
Yeah, exactly.
Central Europe time.
Yeah, exactly.
So
But
then,
yeah,
what's your interaction look like with like Laura? Like, do you
yeah,
how do you
yeah.
interface with
With
her?
Laura, Laura is our product designer, our lead designer. Laura, she designs our apps, and my interactions with Laura usually are about I don't know, many different things. Can I ask you a few questions about where this new text is gonna be, where this new button is gonna be? She goes around the entire team first, and then different clients, in order to research about our apps. And usually she researches on me. She researches on different solution partners, because since we got a big contact with them, they also provide their feedback, and it's really cool. I used to have more contact with Laura before, when I was the support specialist, because every ticket is feedback about our apps, and sometimes, we sat down and discussed what is this client trying to say, because that's another really good part of the support, and it's super interesting, trying to analyze and understand what the client is saying, because not everyone is super clear, or sometimes, I want to be clear, and I'm not clear at all, so someone has to maybe translate what I want to say, and that's what I do with Laura, and it's super cool. We've been colleagues in Deiser for 6 years now, and she's doing a great job on the design side, so it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and it's really like it's a powerful thing, right? Because that's one of my favorite things that I love about. I keep saying calling it Deiser, but he goes and calling it Deiser, right?
Days.
But it's everybody that I've worked with or interfaced with at Deiser, like you guys are very friendly, and you
Mhm.
can feel it, right? Like it's very like it almost like attracts you to want to work with you guys more because it feels very positive, very
Mhm.
a very inviting place to just come in and like we're forging these friendships that I never thought we were even like. I only used to work with Laura,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Like I was like, if I were to ever form like last year for Team
Hmm.
23, I only went to say hi to Laura.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
year, this year, I don't even think I saw Laura at all.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Well, I'm really honored, from the entire Deiser, from your words just now, because the thing is that that's part of our culture. It's not only be there for anyone that might need help with the Atlassian, solution, the Atlassian tools, but also trying to be close and trying to be, how do you say, emphatic, emphatic, and trying to wear their shoes and try to understand what their problem is, and it's not like, okay, so put a smile in order for them to, it's something that it comes automatically, and I don't think that they will choose us, if they don't feel like it, and it's for me, it's a pleasure. This is one of the best companies that I've ever worked with. I think that it's the best. I can say that it's the best company already. It's been 6 years now. And I used to be someone that every 3 years used to change. The company, just in order to change.
Right, a
And
lot longer than me, man. I was doing a different team every year, but
yeah,
different company
exactly.
every. Yeah, I think I did about every 5 years. I was changing companies.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that
I get bored.
that's
I get very bored very quickly. So
yeah, yeah, me too, me too. You wouldn't imagine how bored, but the good thing is that the Deiser and the Atlassian ecosystem grow so fast and changes also so fast, that it makes you stay on your toes, and be, how you say, craving that information, those updates, and it's never boring. Right now, I don't have a dull moment, I
yeah.
wish I had some, so I could have some rest, but it's cool. It's okay, and it's nice, and I like it.
Yeah, so we got another minute left or two.
Yeah,
I want to talk to you about being a content creator then. So
yeah.
what is your plan with your content? Where do you see your
Well,
involvement in creating content going?
my content, and the creation of the content, I see the Dacer connection specifically being one of the main knowledge, how do you say, buckets, or the knowledge points, about the Atlassian first marketplace, okay? Because that's our whole point. We want to share the whole knowledge about the Atlassian marketplace from the point of the client and the point of the vendor. It's not easy for a client to go inside of the marketplace by themselves. Usually you don't get that. But and that's one of the things that we want to share, but also, about the entire Atlassian ecosystem. We would like to let the people that know us, that don't know you, to know you, and to see what you have to say, and to learn what you have to teach, because we believe, and I believe, personally, that you, as long, like you and the Jira Live guys, and more people in the Atlassian ecosystem have a lot of knowledge to share. And if I can be of help in order to spread the word, that's what I want to do. And at some point, I would like people to ask me, so where do I need to go? Can you help me with this? Yes,
Right,
go
yeah.
and check this out. Go and check Alex out. Go and check Rodney out.
Yeah, no,
Read
it's a
some. Yeah.
it's a collaborative effort. My wife saw you on the call we were on earlier with Andrew DeBell, and she's like, "Is that Fede?" And I'm like, "Yep, that's him."
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah,
So
that was a
I'm
good one.
excited. I'm excited to be on this journey with you, and
Mm,
like you said, right, we can only make each other better,
yeah, exactly. I
and I'm
think so.
looking forward to future collaboration. So we do got to brainstorm on some future
Yes,
stuff. I haven't quite
yes.
put my finger on it, but I do want to do something big one day.
Cool, cool, nice, nice, nice. I think that if you try and you put some effort, you'll achieve it. So it's a lot about trying, and a lot about putting the effort. So I think you're in the right path. I think that a lot of people that are around us are in the right path, and I hope that I'm in the right path, because I'm putting some effort on it. So
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
nice. Yes, it's nice. It's nice.
All right,
It's
Fede.
nice.
Well, thank you so much for being here with me. Really appreciate you taking an hour of your time here. For everybody else, hope you enjoyed this interview and this conversation with Fede. Thank you very much, Fede.
Thank you very much, Alex, for having me, and see you really soon.